Good afternoon. Thank you for joining this afternoon to attend this presentation. So the presentation is on climate vulnerability index from the T.H.E lab. My name is T.H.E. I'm GIS specialist from T.H.E lab. So what is climate vulnerability index? So climate vulnerability index is an T.H.E screening tool developed by Environmental Defense Fund, Texas A&M, and Dark Horse Analytics. It provides a robust data-driven approach to understand locally relevant determinants at a neighborhood scale. It has 184 datasets or indicators to rank more than 70,000 US census tracts. The mapping tool integrates cumulative impacts that can shape a community, from quality of housing, access to supermarkets, to proximity to toxic waste sites. CVI is not, however, a risk. It is not a risk assessment, or it does not predict the likelihood of frequency of disasters. It is an environmental justice screening or mapping tool that uses data to show disparities across the United States in order to pinpoint where efforts and resources could be prioritized to create climate resistance. So any person, any user can use this tool and analyze what's happening in the neighborhood and ask the policymakers for funding or to solve a problem. So what did those data collected, or how do they analyze to use those data? So this data related to health, social, economic, environment are collected by incorporating community stakeholder input. So the researchers ask community leaders and users to contribute for the identification of indicators. So this tool has 4 baseline vulnerability indicators or domains. Those are health, social, economic, infrastructure, environment, and it has 3 climate change risks. Those are health, social, economic, or extreme events. What does it mean baseline vulnerability indicates? It reflects factors that may reduce resilience or are a potential source of long-standing community inequity or injustice. The climate change risks reflect both direct and indirect impacts due to the presence of or the existence of climate change. So the tool provides a broad range of baseline climate, health, environment, infrastructure into communities' hands so they can advocate for policies that build resilience to more intense wildfires, flooding, and heat waves anticipated to come. So how do those data collected and imported to the GIS spatial data? The CVI tool prioritized publicly available, nationally consistent throughout the US data with census tract level geographic resolution with most recently released data sets. It means if a data is available in some states, not in the other states, it not included to develop this tool. So to avoid pandemic-related anomalies, the CVI team predominantly obtained annual data from 2017 to 2019. The census tract used to develop this tool is 2010, and that's the lowest resolution used to develop this tool. When census tract data were unavailable, a county or state level data were also used to develop this tool. So to summarize, what are those indicators included in this tool? This graph shows there are baseline vulnerabilities that reduce community resilience, and at the same time there are climate change climate change risks that directly or indirectly impact communities. So, for example, in the health, it has physical health related, mental health, access to care, chronic diseases, infectious diseases, prevention, childhood maternal health, social economic, socioeconomic, housing, disability, housing, transportation, from the infrastructure related to energy, transportation, communication, finance, waste, from the environment related to transportation sources, land use, pollutant sources, from the extreme events related to temperature, precipitation, wildlife, droughts, flooding, storms, from the climate risks based health, temperature related diseases, disaster related diseases, air pollution related diseases, air pollution related illness, and infectious diseases are included to develop this tool. So how did these all 184 indicators are come together and produce this beautiful cumulative edge screen tool, which is Climate Vulnerability Index? So as you can see, I added some comparison with vector and raster, but the general thing is there is a point data, there is related to streets, there is building data. So those can be integrated using GIS capabilities. So a software used to integrate all this data is the toxicological prioritization index approach. And this tool uses a weighted average to aggregate data to provide an overall related score. A hierarchical structure where subcategory scores are built from individual indicators. Category text-by scores are built from subcategories, and the overall score is built using category text-by scores. Each indicator, subdomain, domain were equally weighted at each aggregation level. For online visualization, T.H.E scores were converted to percentiles from 0 to 100, where higher values indicate greater vulnerability. For example, if an area score is 20 and another area scores 80, the area with score 80 is highly vulnerable to climate vulnerability. So the graphic interface looks like this. So T.H.E calculates a unitless number that may be used to rank for ranking ordering chemical being compared. All data must be in numeric. Missing value can be also included. So now we are going to go to the website, and everybody please go to the website. I'm going to put in the chat, and we will use this tool to see together. Click this link and go to that website. And we are going to, I'm going to, okay, I hope you see my new screen. Do you see the new map?
Yes, we see it. Put the link in the chat, please.
Yeah, I did. Oh, sorry, I just sent to one person. I don't know why. Okay, it's there now. Check it, please. I hope everybody is in the website now. So the websites look like this. So as you can see, you can zoom in and zoom out just to go wherever you want. So you can also use the search to go and search any place in the US. You can also click counties to see your county information. You can also click the census tract and the county to see. So let's start first from the tracks. So as you can see, this shows you the track number. For example, right now I am in track 42129808402, which is Pennsylvania. So if I go to Virginia, I can go to 510030104041. So when I zoom into that area, it gives me all the information I need for that particular census tract. But when I click counties, I can see the county information, the summary of that county. So as you can see, the map is now in counties. So right now I'm going to go to Maryland. So you can see Hardin County, Baltimore City. This is Caroline County, and this is Prince George County, Frederick County. So when I click here, it's going to give me information about Baltimore. So as you can see here, it says Baltimore City. So when I click, and it also shows you the ranking about that city, and you can click this to see the report. So another thing is you can also see the states. So as you can see, there are here 51, including DC, and you can see the coloring. For example, 100 means bad and 0 means good. So as you can see, the overall climate vulnerability in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, those areas are highly vulnerable compared to the other states. You can also compare the regions. EPA has 10 regions. So when you, as you can see, those are divided by regions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we are in region 3, which is a mid-Atlantic region. So you can click also that, and it's going to zoom to that region, and you can see the overall climate vulnerability for this region is ranked number 5 out of 10. And if you want to see the report, you can click here and see the whole report for that. So from the overall climate vulnerability, we are going to click now the baseline score now. So it has its own color. So as you can see, the dark means bad and the light color means relatively good. So as you can see right now, the community baseline, you can compare the regions, you can compare the states. So as you can see, you can compare the states, which state has the highest score. You can also compare the highest, for example, here is region 6, which is around Texas, Oklahoma, has the highest. And if you click the climate, it's going to give you a different color. And at the same time, the regions have their own different rankings. So as you can see here, region 4 is highly affected compared to the others when you see the climate impacts. You can also see the states. Oh, which state is the highest in terms of climate impact? So LA, Mississippi, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Pennsylvania is highly affected. At the same time, you can also check which indicators are or subcategories of indicators are highly affecting your area. You can click, for example, here. So right now I am checking overall physical health. When you see the physical health, so as you can see here, the middle areas of the United States is highly affected by physical related health. When I click the next one, it is going to be mental health. So mental health, where is this area highly affected? For example, Ohio has the highest. Ohio, Wisconsin, DC, LA, I think this Missouri has the highest score. What about if I see the extreme, So when I click extreme, which is temperature, let's go to the whole. It shows you the middle US, this area has issues related to extreme temperature. What about drought? Okay, drought is related to Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma. Those areas are highly affected by extreme events. You can also individually check transportation issues, extreme exposures, pollution sources, and criteria air pollutants. You can also compare diseases. For example, this is temperature-related diseases, high in Texas area, South area, Florida. You can see also here by state, this shows you the state-related diseases by state. Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana has the highest. So by doing this, you can check, and at the same time, you can view the reports like this. It shows you what's happening in your area for that specific place. So it shows you the ranking and the breakdown of all what's happening. By the way, if you have any questions, can you put in the chat and I will check on the way. Any questions, please? You can also talk.
Dr. Tedeschi, in these variables, health, social, and economic, environment, infrastructure, where are they defined?
Where defined?
Where are those variables under community baseline and climate impacts defined?
So
if you click on one on the right side, if you click on them, do you get the definitions? Like you just showed mental health, but how is that defined?
Oh, you mean what does it mean?
How are they defining what mental health data they're using?
Well, they try to do a literature review, what they are going to include. And I think first more than 200 indicators were collected first.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, they analyze, can we get this data throughout the US? If it is yes,
so for mental health, what data do they use? You showed the pink screen with mental health and deaths of despair. I was wondering, it's under health. I was wondering what the definition was.
Oh, mental health?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yeah, this one, mental health. Okay. So the mental health, I will just give me 1 minute.
It says at the top, the impact of depression, addiction, and hopelessness.
Yeah.
So
I will go to the list.
Yeah, what is the data? Where does the data come from?
Okay. Okay, self-reported physical health, self-reported mental health, are those included in that mental health part, which is included.
Does it come from Medicaid, Medicare, private family physicians?
Most of the data are from
Right.
CDC.
Okay.
From CDC.
Okay.
Okay, so I think Maybe we'll go to the PowerPoint. Any other questions? Okay, I think, okay, following up on Lauren's question, I see that if you click on a small gray down, you can choose. Yeah, the data source and the manual, everything is in the website. So you can download the manual and see all the details for each indicator included in the tool. So maybe let's continue with the PowerPoints, and we will come back to the question and answers. So right now I will go to the PowerPoint.
There's a follow-up question in the chat.
Okay, I will check. Okay. Yeah, I answered that. It's related to the indicators and the sources. So the manual gives, I will try to put in the chat the manual bytes. Okay, I will continue with the presentation, and so I'm just trying to have this PowerPoint and maybe explain more. So right now, as you can see, I am in the overall climate vulnerability on the overall one. So as you can see, the whole US is have values. So you can say the states and the EPA region also. So this one is the community baseline. So as you can see, if you see the community baseline areas, those areas has the highest: South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arizona, Arkansas, and Louisiana with the highest score compared to the others. The next one is the climate. So as you can see, the southeast parts, Texas area is highly affected by climate impacts. And this one is to show, okay, which region has the highest in terms of overall climate vulnerability. So region 6 is ranked number 1 compared to the other when we see the overall climate vulnerability index. So this means they average the values for those status in region 6, and when they compare it with the others, it's the highest. So that's why they say it's number 1 ranked in EPA regions. So when we come to our region, which is the Mid-Atlantic region, you can say 5 out of 10 regions in terms of overall climate vulnerability. At the same time, number 2, when we see the criteria air pollutants, as you can see, areas around Pittsburgh, around the eastern part of Pennsylvania, around the 95 corridor, Washington, Baltimore areas has the highest score when we see the criteria air pollutants. This means PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, and ozone had the highest in this area. So when we compare it, it's number 2 from the whole EPA regions. When we see the air pollution related deaths, it is ranked number 1, the EPA region 3, or our region, the Mid-Atlantic region, is ranked number 1. So this is just to show you how it looks like when we bring on by itself the Mid-Atlantic region or EPA region 3. So as you can see, the overall average DC has 41, Delaware 66, Maryland 45, Pennsylvania 60, Virginia 51, and West Virginia 71. So West Virginia has the highest, and at the same time, when we see the major cities along the 95, they have high score compared to the other areas. So another approach is, okay, what about census tracts with the greater than 75 score? Where are those census tracts? So when we analyze that, the same West Virginia has 45% of the census tracts in West Virginia scored greater than 75 percentile, followed by Virginia, which is 28. So, and Delaware also 38.5. So the lowest scored is in DC, and followed by Maryland and Pennsylvania. So what about if we see the individual domains or subcategories? How do we rate EPA Region 3? So as you can see, the air pollution related diseases is number 1. Disaster related disease is third. Air pollution related illness is third. And the community baseline, when you see, is second. Chronic disease third, and child and maternal health is fourth. The community baseline, it is relatively okay. It's lower vulnerability. The climate impact related to flooding, for example, if we move to Maryland and see how it's look like in Maryland, flooding is fourth. The ranking is out of the 51 states, and including DC, it's fourth related to flooding. Air pollution related disease is sixth. Criteria air pollutant, which is PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, and ozone, it is fifth. What about if we zoom into Baltimore and see what's happening in Baltimore City? So Baltimore has Maryland has 24 counties. So out of those 24 counties, it is number 1 in pollution sources. It's number 1 in air pollutants. In number 1 child maternal health. It's number 1 in air pollution related diseases. 14 cost of climate disasters, flooding 20. So in many factors, it's very high and vulnerable. So the baseline is relatively okay. It's ranked 19 out of 24 counties in Maryland. So this is also to give you a map and see the variability. The red means high score vulnerable. The yellow means relatively okay. As you can see, the eastern part of Maryland, the western part of Maryland, the 95 corridor has the highest score compared to the areas outside the 95 corridor, which is like Montgomery County, Howard County areas are relatively okay. So what about if we see where are those census tracts with greater than 75 percentile in Maryland? So as you can see, the majority are in Baltimore City and like Somerset County and the eastern part of the county. So what about if we zoom in again to Kurt's Bay, Baltimore? So how it is ranked? It is out of 1,406 tracts in Maryland. It's ranked number 2 based on the overall climate vulnerability, which means it's very, very bad. So we can also check what's happening in each and see the scores and the ranks. To see the baseline, it's ranks third out of 1,406. So in terms of environment, it's 97, health 95, social and economic 92, and infrastructure 91, and the climate impact is ranked high, 160 is relatively okay. What about in DC? So as you can see, DC has like 8 wards. So Ward 8 scored the highest CVI score compared to the others. Ward 3 scored the lowest CVI. So this means the southeast part and northeast part of the city has the highest score compared to the northwest part of the city. You can also see, okay, you have this map and what are those census tracts? So you can identify the census tract. Oh, sorry. The census tract also in each. So you can Google your neighborhood and identify your census tract, and you can see the score for each census tract in your area. So as you can see, most census tracts with a score above the 75 are in Southeast DC, but there are also some in Northeast city. So when we see the Southeast Washington area ranks its transportation sources second, it's flooding related number 1, and air pollution related illness is relatively high. It's okay. When we see the it's ranked number 1 out of 179 tracks. It is very high. The socioeconomic 97, health 94, environment 86, 85. So when you go to Pennsylvania, as you can see, this may not give us a big clue. So but when we break down the 75 percentile, it shows you where are those areas with the highest scores. As you can see, Philadelphia city has the highest with our 304 census tracts with greater than 75 percentile, and it is very high. And another is Westmoreland, Washington County, Mercer has the highest number of census tracts compared to the others. So when you go to Philadelphia, it is ranked number, it is the census tract I click, it's ranked 15 out of 3,218 score. So the score is 99. When we see the individual categories, it's ranked first in flooding, in socioeconomic fourth, in communication sixth, and costs of climate disasters number 1. So overall, the methodology to summarize CVI or climate vulnerability index used a different methodology compared to the California and other age screening tools, because they use the T.H.E to integrate all those data together, so it's different. So the CVI offers the most thorough and complete compilation of climate impacts at the census tract level, both historical, projected, direct, and indirect, integrating climate change impacts with the environment, health, and socioeconomic metrics. The number of indicators included is very high compared to other tools. And the average scores in West Virginia, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, DC is 71, 66, 60, 51, 46, and 41. Major cities in our region has high score. So EPA Region 3 out of 10 regions is first, third, and again third in air pollution related diseases, disaster related diseases, and air pollution related illness. EPA Region 3 is also second in issues related to flooding. From the top 25 census tracts with the worst scores in Mid-Atlantic region, the majority are located in Philadelphia County. Within Maryland, 19 out of top 25 worst ranked census tracts are located in Baltimore City. The top 3 worst affected counties in Maryland are Somerset, Dorchester, and Baltimore City. DC Ward 8, Ward 3 scored the highest and lowest respectively. So I have some questions here. What is CBI rank of the Mid-Atlantic region? Which counties are the worst affected in your state? Which indicators scored in the highest in your community? So this is by going to the website, and you can put the answer in the chat. And thank you very much for participating and attending this workshop. And if you have questions, we will try to address it. I will check the chat, and at the same time, you can also have the questions in your in the chat, or you can speak.
Did you have participants introduce themselves?
Oh no, they put their name and organization in the chat. Please put your name, organization, and email in the chat, please.
Yeah, it's not in there. There's some folks on this call that I know have done some work and are in different regions. Can you go back and show your first question? What is CVI for the Mid-Atlantic? Can you go back and show that?
Yeah, okay. Oh.
Not the question, the actual answer.
I don't know why is this stuck. Okay. We can go also to the map and see.
Yeah, that's what I want you to show, how to go to the map and figure that out.
Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, just give me one. Okay. So I don't know if we have people from different states, they can go to the specific state and check. Let's check the counties. So for example, if we see in Pennsylvania, so you can see here, and you can click wherever and see the score.
We've got folks from Texas, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Southwest.
Yeah, please
out
go
where
to
you
your
are.
state and check whatever happening in your state or county and put your
Yeah,
answers in
let's
the.
look at the South.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
So,
Fabiola's in California, but let's look at Louisiana,
Louisiana?
yeah, or Texas.
Okay, I have here Louisiana.
But
So
not
as
on
you
the
can
not
see,
on the mental health, on the climate impacts,
okay, climate. Okay.
extreme events.
Yeah. So okay, let's check temperature.
Well, we know what's happening with temperature.
Huh. Temperature-wise, Louisiana looks fine. Okay, now it is drought is also compare. Okay, flooding is probably the worst, you see.
Yeah.
Flooding 95, 97, 90 something nationally. Storms is around Mississippi.
Yeah, we know.
Mississippi. Precipitation. Oh.
Yeah, that doesn't look right.
Precipitation, maybe it's related to drought. Okay, something here. And when we see temperature related diseases, high in the south part, this is disaster related. Wow, Alabama, Mississippi 97 percentile, Louisiana 93rd, air
Well,
pollution.
yeah, for those particular areas.
Yeah, air pollution related diseases is high in our region. So we can also check which areas has the highest in this. So here, Nash 98, this is West Eastern like Virginia. 94. Air pollution related, like here, West Virginia. And this is infectious disease. Okay, infectious disease. Wow, what's this? It's unique here. It's 98 percentile along this corridor.
Yeah. Part of that is Appalachia.
Yeah, okay. So mental health, okay, mental health, as you can see areas around, let's use a whole. So as you can see, Louisiana, Missouri, Wisconsin, Ohio, DC has the highest.
But it's also based on what is reported to CDC. That's what I heard you say.
Yes, yes.
So there's a reporting issue. Anna has a comment
Okay.
about temperature.
Okay, and a temperature, the example of where I got confused, it seems to be composite of heat, risk, cold, and change over time. The dictionary of composites are hard to interpret. Yes. Yeah.
And Greg said the infectious disease area you were looking at is the cold belt.
Oh, okay. So just give me 1 minute. I will check the precipitation to know exact. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, precipitation. So in precipitation, they used snowfall, precipitation index, and total precipitation. So they used three indicators and combined it to a precipitation volume. So the flooding includes coastal flooding, riverine flooding, sea level rise. The storm includes hurricane, tornado, winter weather. Drought included drought and at the same time consecutive dry days. Temperature includes cold wave, days with maximum temperature above 35, days with maximum temperature above 40, frost days, maximum of temperature, mean temperature, urban heat are combined to give a temperature. Okay. Yeah, you can also talk, I mean, or ask your questions.
I had a question. I know you mentioned it already though. Can you repeat the difference between the California one and this map? How are they gathering data differently?
What, the number of indicators is very high. It's 184. I think California has around 75. So they used a different methodology here. They used the T.H.E software to combine the indicators, but California, they use a different one. That's the difference in the methodology to combine the integration part. You want me to go to the PowerPoint again?
Yes, please.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay. So this is the tool, they use a textological prioritization index T.H.E approach by Marble and Riff Blandy 2020. So they use a weighted average to aggregate data to provide an overall relative score based on that software. They use that software, the California Edge Screen tool and also our Edge Screen tool. We didn't use this software. So we use it like an averaging methodology, just use it on Excel by bringing all the data to Excel and combine it based on that. But here they use it that approach, so that's one difference they have. So at the same time, they have 180. Yeah, the number is 184 indicators compared to the others. So the highest indicators we have so far right now is the Mid-Atlantic Edge Screen and the South Carolina and North Carolina Edge Screens. They have like 95 indicators. Any additional questions? Did you identify your county and census tract and know the score? Is it easy to access or identify your census tract and county from the map?
So, I'm trying to do it because in Virginia, cities aren't in counties. So
Yes, that's one
Petersburg is
problem.
not in a county. We're next to Prince George County and we're next to Richmond. Well, Colonial Heights. So cities aren't in counties, but I'm trying to do it now.
So what's your county?
We have no county. That's what I'm telling you. In Virginia, you're either in a city or
But you are already inside one
cities are
county.
not in counties.
Oh. Okay, Virginia.
Petersburg is next to Prince George County, but it is not in Prince George County.
Okay.
It's near
So
south of Richmond. See, that says
yeah.
Richmond City. So I'm looking for Petersburg City. Nope. What? Go east. Go south. Go south.
Chester.
Go south.
Pittsburgh, yes. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just no. Yeah, you just clicked on it, but you moved. Petersburg is a city.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, hold on.
It's next to Prince George to the west.
Hold on. Let's zoom in there. Okay. This, yeah.
Right.
It's for 72 national vulnerability
Right. But
percentile.
in the Robert Wood Johnson ranking, it has the worst health outcomes in the entire state.
Let's check. Hold on. Let's check the. This is no. This is let's. The overall is 99. See,
Yeah.
99
I know
percentile.
this, and we're not ready.
Hold on. Let's see that. Oh, it's ranked number 1 out of 134 counties in Virginia.
Yeah.
And we can check the details. So number 1 in child and maternal health is number 4 in physical health issues.
In vulnerability.
Yes.
Because when you say it's number 1, it's the opposite. It's the worst in
The worst, I
the
mean, yeah,
most
the worst.
vulnerable for all of those.
Yeah, the worst, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also number 1 temperature related deaths.
Right. A lot of seniors don't use heat in the summer. They try to
Okay.
save energy.
It's
Just like
also
in
ranked number 1 in community baseline, the overall baseline, by combining social, health, environment, and infrastructure uh, components.
right. We have the
Climate,
highest vulnerability in the state.
it is ranked 73rd.
Right. Because we only have a river. We don't get
Yeah.
hit really by tornadoes, but once or twice. And we have
Okay. So hold on. What about the other things? Let's check. So right now on health. So oh, they don't have it is yeah, it is number 1 also in health related.
Yeah, that's why I have to get out of here.
Yeah, so everybody come in, you can go to your specific place, areas, and check. The most important thing about this tool is it gives you all these 186 indicators. So you can use that to lobby funding and policy changes to your neighborhood based on this information. And one thing we can also help you with, if you need also maps related to those, we can also help you, provide you maps. So you can contact us, Pamela, myself, and the other EJ lab staff. I think more or less, I don't know if there is no other questions. Thank you very much for joining us. And I know it's resting time, 6 p.m. So thank you. Pamela, do you want to add anything?
We should put Lauren, the EJ Lab website in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, I think it is. Okay, Lauren is here. Okay. I think
Yeah,
it's
I'll put it in the chat.
okay. Thank you, Lauren.
But this says that all of the data was to avoid pandemic related anomalies. They just used data before 2020.
Yes, they use it before 2020. I also put the email so you can contact us.
Dr. Paget and Naomi are in the group. Did you ever reach them? For the EJ screen subject matter experts?
Dr. Naomi?
Naomi is in the group. She's driving, but she's on the call.
Oh, can you put
Hey,
her in?
everybody.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. Thank you so much, Dr. Bingham. Thank you so much for this presentation as well.